Yeah, welcome back. Hi, mate.
How are you?
All right, thank you.
Good week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
ish.
Ish? Why ish?
It's only Tuesday.
Valid. Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been all right. It's been all right. It's been good. We are joined today by a special guest, and now one of the originals for Back and Forth.
Yeah,
one of the Hundies.
I actually met you a few years ago.
It wasn't years ago.
It was.
It
It
wasn't.
was two years ago.
When did you get wet
can't be
feet?
that long.
When did you get wet feet?
It was the curry. That was
Yeah,
the
curry
first
and
one, but then
the
you did the curry the week after, didn't you?
So yeah, that would have been about
Yeah.
2.5 years ago.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Jeez.
Yeah. I know. It's like a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
But no, Dale, welcome. Thanks
Hello.
for coming in,
Thanks
mate.
for coming in.
Never
mate.
been called special before, so that's
Well,
Not to your face.
yeah, exactly. Slag me off after.
you wait, mate. You wait. Next week's episode is all about him.
Yes. No, Dale, I've never seen so many volunteers in the group. It was quite good, actually. I put the message out yesterday. Anybody fancy filling in the pod tomorrow? And there was quite a few. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, it was quite
Well,
quick.
Yeah,
I like
good.
that.
Yeah, so, yeah, thanks, mate.
No worries.
I know you've got stuff we want to talk about. We'll go on to that. And I think I haven't got anything else. We can do the pod admin stuff later.
We can do that at the end.
There's some app stuff to talk about.
Yep. Oh, that's exciting stuff as well.
Yeah. Nearly here Friday.
Yeah.
So when you listen to this on Thursday, the app will be launched tomorrow.
Oh yes. Yeah.
See, I'm trying to think ahead now.
My mind ain't that far ahead yet.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dale, I know we had a bit of a brief conversation yesterday. What we normally like to do, especially when we have guests in, because it's nice and easy, we haven't got to do so much thinking and talking. We just throw you in the deep end.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is your podcast. This will be Dale's episode.
It is.
Or whatever Taylor decides to call
no
it. as.
pressure.
Whatever
at
episode
all.
number is, yeah, it's going to be that
Yeah.
one. So,
So, yeah, mate, over to you.
Wow.
Straight in.
Yeah. What? Just tell you my story, or?
Yes.
Um,
From the beginning is normally a good place to start, and we'll go from there.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so it's funny when you say 2.5 years ago. It doesn't feel 2.5 years ago, and I'm just kind of reflecting now if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it's just a sign of us getting older
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
very quickly.
No, I didn't think.
I don't
it was
remember
that.
you being so tall.
Oh no, I've always been.
That's how
tall.
long it's been.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's not going to be a growth spurt
Yeah,
in
I
that
think- I
time.
think you're shrinking.
I was just in a darker place then, so I don't know if I shrunk as a result of it.
It's
Does
just
that
the
happen?
layers of clothes on. It's just sort of like
Symptom of feeling sad is you shrink.
Yeah. Slouch shoulders.
Yeah, so my story. Yeah, it's a bit weird because obviously I've seen other people. Both the founders have all done like a little biography, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I kind of shied away from that. And then I've seen people within the group. A lot of the new people, they're kind of like little submarines, aren't they? And they're there, but you don't see or hear from them. And then all of a sudden they pop up, and it's a
And then
big
they go,
like
"Brah!"
all in one go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've read them, and I think, I should probably tell my story because I think it encourages other people
Yes.
to, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably that typical bloke thing. Feel a bit daft and a bit stupid and all the rest of it. I think the big thing is that I'm probably in a much different and much better place now than I was when this was set up.
Yeah.
And particularly when I came for those 2 walks. But yeah, my story. I was happily married. Been married for 13 years. I've been with the same person for 15. 2 kids, house, 1 boy, 1 girl. Very,
Nuclear family.
very, nuclear family. Skipping along in life. Work was good. Family was good. Healthy. Just, everything that I wanted, really. Very, I wouldn't say blissfully happy, but not far from it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my world came crashing around me when I found out that my wife had cheated on me, which was horrendous. It was horrific, absolutely horrific. So yeah, I think probably a cycle that some people will probably recognise of finding out there's been some deceit, forgiveness, try again, trust, and then it happens again, and probably not something necessarily proud of, but I look back on it and you think, oh, it's a bit cringe. But yeah, even then, still fighting to save and marriage, and ultimately, you know, that only works if both people want it and the other person decided they didn't, and that led to a very horrific time. I don't think I've ever previously suffered with depression or anxiety or anything like that. I don't think I was particularly overly. I think people would describe me as probably moderately miserable all the time.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Having known you for a long time, mate, yes.
Yeah, sprinkled with a bit of banter and good humour. Yeah, and then to all of a sudden, and then I was thinking about earlier what I was going to say in preparation of this, and you find yourself thinking about lots of cliches, and then it kind of dawns on you that cliches are cliches for a reason, because they're actually a really good way of describing how you feel. But this idea of being in a hole is a very good. It's a very good cliche, a very good analogy. Being stuck in that, very dark, very lonely. Couldn't see an obvious way to get out. And then like I said to you yesterday, I think one of the biggest problems with me, I will talk to people, but I think my situation was I had one person that I spoke to who I think, if he was honest, probably got bored of me saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the conversation, you know what it's like whenever you meet someone. You all right? Yeah, you? No. What's wrong? Wow. My wife's been shagging someone behind my back. you know? And that kind of,
it becomes
that
Groundhog
conversation
Day.
didn't change because nothing changed. That was still what was affecting my life and what was affecting my mood. So yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm babbling now.
No. No. I think you're right, because I mean I've been in there and I've been both sides of that situation you've been in. So yeah, you disappear down. We saw like down the hole or in the goldfish bowl. You think it's only happening to you, and then you realise when you open up a little bit, there are other people going through it.
Yeah.
And I think when you said that you want to come on, I was like, brilliant. This is a good story because it will resonate with a lot. And it's everything else goes along with it, isn't it? Yeah, you're in that. This has happened. You're trying to deal with that, but then everything else gets put to one side. So you deal with one thing, and then shit me, you've got another pile of stuff you've got to sort out.
Yeah.
Everything else you've not done whilst you're dealing with this first thing, and it just piles up and piles up and piles up, and then, like you say, the hole gets deeper and deeper.
So I'm curious. So I'm going to probably ask you a shitload of questions, which is what I normally do.
Yeah.
Vish is the question
If
master.
there's anything that you feel uncomfortable with, just tell me to shut up.
Yeah.
I'll still ask you, but it's just going to be one of those. So you mentioned something earlier on, which I thought was quite important on growth and on you healing as well, which is forgiveness.
Yeah.
For something as big as this, forgiveness is a really, really hard thing to do.
Yeah, because I haven't mentioned forgiveness once.
You did earlier on.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did the whole cliche thing about forgiveness and then rebuilding, and then they do it again.
Oh, yeah. So that was the initial journey. Yeah.
So the point from that was
No, I haven't forgiven her.
that's it. That's it.
No.
Is it? Did you initially think that you may, because you tried again, obviously in the relationship?
I think within a relationship, with her support and within that marriage and within that family, I think you can get past that.
Yeah.
I think there was some aggravating. There was some other things going on in the background, more so with her, which I'm not going to talk about because I think that's not fair on her.
That's fine.
But I think you could have pushed through that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, she didn't want to, and that's where we ended up where we were. I haven't forgiven her, and I won't forget it. Like we're talking about nearly 4 years later now, and it still hurts. It still grates on me hearing her voice, and I don't think I hate her anymore, which is where I was. But yeah, it's that's still there. Definitely still there.
So with hate, it takes a lot of energy out of you as well.
Yeah,
It's draining.
I mean, was it hate or was it rage? Was it that I was hard done to? I felt like I didn't deserve it. I felt like do you know what? One of the biggest things for me was I felt like I'd had my history and my past stolen from me. I'd got 15 years of memories not necessarily just with her, but with the kids and
Yeah.
us as a family. And I felt like that had all been erased.
Mm.
And that was a really strange sensation.
Mm.
So I think I've had it before where you come to an end of a relationship and you feel like that was a waste of X amount
Yeah.
of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have got out of this earlier and concentrated on X, Y, and Z. So there was that. I've just wasted the last 15 years. But there was also 15 years of my life felt like it had been erased, wiped out,
Yeah.
marked as in error, or
Yeah.
Voided.
and that was a strange feeling.
It's like it's tarnished, isn't it? It's
Yes,
like you've got them.
absolutely.
You can, but then when you think back, it's difficult then to think back of the good bits without thinking that other person come along and shitting all over it.
Yeah, but then when you do think about the good things, you think they couldn't have been that good, otherwise
You wouldn't be in
this
the
wouldn't have
position you're in now.
happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they like falsified, those kind of things? I mean, with this relationship obviously going south, kids. Now, we spoke about this with the dads
Yeah.
not too long ago,
Yeah.
being single dads and how they're going through, whether it be the courts or whatever. How has that been for you in terms of the experience on your mental health?
Oh, I'm very experienced in this because unfortunately this isn't my first failed relationship.
Not the first rodeo.
Not the first road.
So I had a previous relationship that was about 8 years long, and I had a daughter as a result of that. And again, long story short, I haven't seen her since she was 7, and she's now 20.
Wow.
So I haven't had any contact with her for 13 years. And that was very difficult. So I went through the whole court case drama, fighting to see her, CSA, CAFCAS, court system all the way up to the Crown Court, not just at local mags, but at Crown. My daughter was made a party to the case and had her own solicitor, had her own social worker. So I went through all that and fought very, very hard, but ultimately, I don't know if failed's the right word, but wasn't successful in what I wanted. And kind of that whole hearing ended up in a kind of a non-judgment, if you like. My daughter stayed with her mum, and I didn't have any contact with her, and that was hard. And it was weird. It's a strange position where you have to accept or either grieve for a child that hasn't actually died. But I think that was the way my brain processed it at that point. I got to a certain stage where I'd fought and fought and fought, had ultimately not got what I wanted. And you had to come to an acceptance then. And then you had to kind of index it or draw a line under it. Otherwise, it would have driven me, to a not good place. And to be fair, once I had done that, it was a lot easier to process.
The acceptance part of it.
The acceptance, yeah. Although the acceptance came in the form of grieving that I'm not going to have this relationship that I would have liked, and that was it. But my very very strong advice to anybody that's going through kind of separation and with children is to not waste any time. Get onto it very, very quickly, because the damage, in inverted commas, to a child, particularly with their relationship to and I'm going to try not to be sexist because obviously some mums end up in the same position.
Yeah.
So they talk about resident and non-resident parents. Yeah. So it's the damage between a non-resident parent and a child can accumulate very, very quickly. The court system is ridiculously slowly.
Yeah.
So you've almost got to get that ball rolling absolutely as soon as you can. I did it all myself. Didn't engage with a solicitor. If anyone who thinks, oh, maybe that's why you failed miserably. I mean, like I said, it went all the way to the Crown Court. That I presented myself in front of a judge. This part where you make a child a party to the case basically says you say that the views and the position of the child are not being represented by the parent. So you want the child to be made a party to the case. So then it's resident and non-resident parent and the child are the three parties in the case.
Yeah.
Now, the other party, they had a solicitor that fought against that. They didn't want the child to be included in that, and I convinced the judge that was the right thing to do. But yeah, and then we had a counsellor, and this counsellor tried everything he could to. It was a crazy story. It went on for a long time. The court system is horrific. It's awful. I remember I'd got a contact order which said you will see the child X, Y, and Z. Mother didn't agree and prevented that. So then you go to court to say, I need you to enforce this order that you have just made. So, and I remember it was coming up to Christmas, and I thought, perfect, I'll go in front of the magistrate. A magistrate will say, you need to do this or there's going to be consequences. So waiting for this court case for ages. Yeah. Oh, perfect, it's just before Christmas. I'll get to see her at Christmas. And get there, and there's no bench, there's no magistrates. So it's just the clerk, who has obviously no power to do anything. And me being absolutely devastated. And then for the clerk to say, I'll never forget it, can't you agree to just meet at McDonald's?
Wow.
And you're just like... Yeah. And that wasn't the first time. I think that happened... I mean, I'm going back a long time. I can't remember if that happened 2 or 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone who's going through it, start that ball rolling. If you get even a sniff that contact's going to be an issue,
get on it.
Go to court. You pay one fee, and that's it until it's resolved. And you can do it yourself. There's loads of information on the internet. You know, I'm not particularly academic on GCSE.
Yeah.
I don't even know what GCSEs I've got. I mean, that's another story.
They don't exist anymore.
I didn't bother going back to school to find out what I'd got. I got the job that I wanted, so
Job done.
I genuinely don't know what GCSEs I've got. But yeah, that was the extent of my education. Yeah. But yeah, I did it myself.
No, I'm the same as you. We're probably not the two strongest advocates, because I did mine myself when I went through it with mine. And yeah, mine was, I had a video conference call with the court representing myself, so the opposite solicitors were there. I was on a video call in Smith's Toys Superstore car park in Birmingham, because we'd gone out for the day thinking that we're having this phone call, and then I got an email to say it's not going to be a phone call, it's going to be a video conference. I'm like, shit. So I'm sat in the car park. I was the same as you. We went through all the court agreed that I should see my daughter, but basically turned around and went, but we can't make her do it.
Yeah.
So thanks for your time, and and complete non-judgment, and leave it with you.
Which is a crazy, crazy situation.
That's a massive head fuck.
Yeah, crazy situation.
Yeah, it's an absolutely you get told you're doing the right things, and it'd be good for her to have the relationship with you, and parents should see their children, blah blah blah. But unfortunately, we can't force it to do it. So,
and the expression about possession is 9/10 of the law. Everyone thinks that's like money and cars and maybe dogs as well. Absolutely same when it comes to children. The resident parent, whoever that is, they've got possession. That sounds horrible, but they've got possession of that child, and as such, they've got the power and the almost free reign to make the decisions that they see. And the courts seem to be quite reluctant to put their foot down with it.
Yeah.
That was certainly my experience.
Yeah.
My experience.
I like we spoke about when the lads were in talking, the single dads that were in before. The issue got, like you said, is when they're away from the non-resident parent, it's all the crap that they listen to and hear in the background. And that, like you say, the longer that goes on, the more of an impact, the more they listen to that. And you have no control over something you had no control over anyway. It just gets harder and harder.
And then the thing that was really frustrating as well, that crap that you talk about, the academics have got a term for it, which is parent alienation.
Yes.
So there's it's accepted that is a thing, that one parent can alienate the other parent from the child.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's changed recently, but certainly at the time, the UK court system wouldn't recognise that. So if a child says, I don't want to spend time with that parent, the court will say, well, the child doesn't want to. So therefore, that's good enough for us. But they won't take into account, or they won't acknowledge the possibility that the other parent has said things
manipulate,
influence and
It's
manipulate.
just
that.
coercion, isn't it? You know,
And
This
it's
is
weird
exactly what
because
Darren said, yeah.
if you speak to any two parents with a child, they will acknowledge that it's the easiest thing in the world. Maybe in a kind of Mickey taking or banter way, but you can get a child to say something naughty or against the other parent. And it's really not that difficult. So it's not much of an exaggeration to take it from that to where. But my child was absolutely 100% victim of parent alienation, but it just wasn't acknowledged.
And what about the ones from your most recent?
So we had a bit of a bumpy road, but we're in a good place now. So I have my son and my daughter 50-50, which
Brilliant.
is what I wanted. So and that's worked. And childcare just isn't an issue now. Sorry, the child sharing arrangement just isn't an issue. I've been quite lucky with that. Yeah. So
I'll just touch this.
Yeah, it's closer, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So, which is one of the reasons why I say I'm in a better place, like almost unrecognisable place now to that which I was like 2 years ago, because that was a concern of mine.
Yeah.
Not just a contact, but I had a very, I think it was rational, I had a very profound fear that what happened with my first child was going to happen again.
Yeah.
And that was scary.
Sure.
Yeah, that was a very scary thing. But once I realised that wasn't going to be the case, that kind of eased off a little bit, and that eased off a little bit of pressure.
Yeah. So going back to like when you said about at work, 'cause I mean I've known Dale 20 plus years. Yeah, it's a long time.
Shit.
But I mean, apart from the fact that he's so tall, you'd see him when he walked into a room anyway, because he'd stand out by everybody else. But he's always had that sort of. We talk about the wall paint kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there was always banter. I mean, like I said, we've known him for a long time, but there's always a little bit of piss taking. There was a bit of banter, and that never stopped until all this happened. And I kind of noticed the change in him, and he was like, "Yeah, Dale's going through it," because you just knew straight away that.
I don't think anybody knew
the extent.
I don't think anybody knew where I was.
No.
I don't think there was a turning point for me where I knew I was in. I don't like using the word crisis, but I was in a very critical position, and I recognised it, and I did something about it.
Yeah.
But I never told anyone else.
Yeah.
Never told anyone else that, and it's. I mean, I don't mind talking about it now, because I feel like, not that it's unrecognisable, but I'm so far removed from that now that it's easy to talk about. But I mean, you'll know from work, there's kind of like key things that you worry about. So I've never been suicidal before, but I had some horrible thoughts, and I never understood what the word intrusive. Obviously, I know what the word intrusive means. I never understood what the word intrusive thoughts mean.
Yeah,
it's very hard. That I remember, it was almost like drowning and wanting to push something away and not being able to, and being overwhelmed by something.
Yeah,
and that it wasn't a voice; it was my inner voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd got to the point where I knew how, I knew when, I knew where.
Yeah.
The when was creeping up.
Yeah.
And I remembered, I'll never forget, I was driving the car, and I remember just breaking down on my own in the car and thinking, you need to do something quick, or you're not going to be able to stop this, which is very weird.
Yeah.
It's a very weird sensation. And I was lucky because obviously I had some contacts through work. So I got, and it was bizarre in the end, because the intervention that I got, it sounds like
crazy word, isn't it? That's serious.
I wasn't exercised.
Holy water being thrown around.
I met a mental health professional like outside of the professional circle, if you like. I met her for a coffee and she said, how do you feel? And I said, I'm really scared. I feel like this, and this, and this is what I'm thinking. And I can't even remember what she said, you know, but it wasn't particularly profound or... Yeah, I think it was just talking to somebody else and just airing how I felt. I'd love to know what she said, but I remember immediately feeling better.
Yeah.
And then almost feeling a little bit daft as well, because
Yeah.
I remember walking out. We were only there for an hour. And I remember walking out thinking, I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
What? Why have I?
Yeah.
Why have I pulled this person out of work and said I need to speak to you immediately?
Yeah.
But sometimes you need that person just to give you that kick up the arse, just to say, actually, it's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah, but it's strange because I had a friend that I was talking to. I had my sister that I was talking to. I'd had some counselling. We can get onto the counselling if you like and what I thought of that. But I had kind of talked to different people, but it was still like snowballing, if you like.
Yeah. Do you know because I've been in that place and I know what you're saying, and it's like a weight on your chest that whatever you do, you just can't shift it. But what struck me with it, once you come out the other side of it, is for as muddy and as murky as all your other thoughts are, and you can't think of anything else, that is clear as crystal in your head. And I couldn't get my head around that. I've got all this going on. This is how it's making me feel. I'm at this point where I want to do something. But then everything else just blurs, but that is crystal clear. And it's like, oh shit, I do need some help. I do need to speak about it, because like you say, if you don't do something, this is going to take over and it's going to be the only thing that you're going to be thinking about.
I think it crept up on me very, very slowly. I knew I wasn't handling it very well. I knew I was desperately sad. I knew what... do you know what? A big problem for me was I haven't got a big circle of friends. I'm not massively sociable. My life was my wife. Sounds like it should be on a T-shirt or something.
Yeah, it comes to tea towels near you soon.
Copyright that quick. Probably wouldn't sound well within this group, but
Probably not. No, probably not.
but my wife was my life. She was my best friend. She was everything, and that was another thing. Profound feeling all the way through it. I wanted to talk to her about what she had done. I wanted to speak to her about how she had made me feel. I wanted to speak to her about that I was hurting.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be her, but not her.
Yeah, because
That was
everything
really
else,
hard.
you have that conversation. If something else has upset you or pissed you
Yeah.
off, that's the person you talk to.
The person you most wanted to speak to was the one person you couldn't.
Yeah.
And again, it wasn't until someone said to me, "You've got to grieve for your relationship." And I remember thinking, well, that's what are you talking about?
Yeah.
When you look at grief, and I'm not going to pretend I know all the stages, but there's an established series of stages, isn't there? That made a lot of sense once you actually looked at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was strange. That was strange. But yeah, I think it crept up on me. Like I said, sad, lonely, obviously down in the dumps, depressed, whatever you want to, however you want to describe it. But then all of a sudden, it was this. I felt like this for too long now. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what was scary as well. Was my lad. So my lad he's 14 now, so he would have been 11. He picked up on it. Now, obviously, I didn't. He knew I was miserable and not in a good place, because you couldn't hide it. He was worried at one point, and I remember him telling me about one of his friends whose dad had committed suicide when he was younger. And I remember as soon as he started talking about it, I remember him thinking, he's talking to me without talking to me.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how he ended it at the end, but and then he obviously got a bit blunt at the end. He said, "You'd never do anything like that, would you, Dad?" Or, "I'd hate that to happen to me," or something like that. And I remember thinking,
Shit. Yeah.
Kids are intuitive.
Oh,
They pick up on shit.
See, and maybe that's what I know you said about counselling. We'll come back to that, but maybe that's what we need. Maybe your counselling should be with kids, because they have no filter.
Yeah.
They just say it as it is.
Yeah.
And then you realise afterwards, you're fucking right. You know, you've got they haven't been persuaded or twisted by anything in the world yet, so they just see things as they are. And sometimes they just come out with some profound stuff. And you kind of like, Yeah, I'll
I
take
think
that.
the emotional connection actually helps as well
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they mean so much more.
Yeah.
And whatever's just come out their mouths means so much more than if I had said it or some Tom down the road had said
resonates
it.
so much more, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I think that was a good thing for him to do.
And I think it's that something to live for as well, isn't it? Which again, is such a ridiculous cliche, isn't it? I always hate that I'm saying them all, but it is what it is, isn't it?
We do. I mean, obviously, from doing all this, you read into like crisis plans and things like that. And part of that is what keeps you grounded. What's your, when you get to that darkest point, what is it that's holding you back? And 9 times out of 10, those with kids will be like family and kids.
Yeah.
And it is. And like you say, yeah, you don't want to put the blame on. It's not shifting the blame, but it's having that. If that's your reason, then fucking use it. And that's, that's where you should be with it. But so many times you speak to people about, what's keeping you going, what's stopping you doing. Oh, it's the kids.
And I think probably an important thing. So I was never a big drinker, and wasn't throughout any of this. But obviously, obviously with our profession, we know that the depression can quite very often go hand in hand with the other stuff. And obviously, it's a depressant in its own right. Yeah, I do kind of, if when I was bad, if I'd been drinking at the same time, like that's almost a scary point as well. Yeah. Whether that would have been enough to push me that little bit further down, a wrong kind of road.
But that accelerates your intrusive thoughts, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I was never a real drinker at home, to be honest. So yeah, those feelings were never kind of exasperated by that. But I know that's not the same for some people. So that would be a scary thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I really want to talk about?
What's that, mate?
I have been thinking of ways we can actually get people to listen to us more.
Okay.
And also people to get involved.
All right.
So do you know of anyone that could potentially sponsor us?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, mate, because it reminded me that we've got a sponsor email.
Oh, tell me more.
So we have been approached by Francis Jackson Homes, who are a housing developer over in Rugby and other places across the country.
I know the guys.
They reached out and sponsored us last year, and they've been very kindly coming back to us again this year. And they've sent a little email.
Have they?
And they'd like us to read it out.
Go for it.
So this week's episode is sponsored by Francis Jackson Homes, and they are delighted to sponsor the podcast. It says, as a local house builder, they recognise the importance of men's mental health support and the need for open discussion regarding the challenges we all face.
How nice.
Mate, and that's as easy as that. That's all it takes.
Get
in touch.
So easy.
Tell us what you want to put out, and we'll put it out.
Perfect.
Get involved with us. Help us fund the podcast, and we'll help you and put some sponsorship out at the same time.
People believe in us.
Absolutely.
They really do.
One step at a time.
Little steps. I'm curious to know about your process, because you're in a good place now, right?
Yeah.
So what's your process? I mean, how did you handle that to get from there to now?
So
counselling, obviously.
I think probably come to that at the end, because then we can end it on a high note.
I'm looking forward to this.
I told you how I don't see my first child, and obviously my wife's naffed off, and I had lots of horrible thoughts, and blah blah blah. Counselling. So I accessed counselling through my employer, who had some kind of internal referral thing. So the first thing I would say was I've never had counselling before. Wasn't opposed to it. So yeah, I was quite prepared to talk to someone. I found this helpline, which is a 24/7 helpline. I'd previously heard that if you go to your GP, you will wait months and months for any kind of consultation or an appointment. So I rung this referral thing through work. I had the phone was answered immediately. It was obviously just someone working on reception. They weren't counsellors themselves, but she was absolutely lovely immediately. Which was really refreshing straight away. And she says, we've got an appointment. It was less than 2 weeks. It was more than 1 week, less than 2. Her name is such and such. She will call you on this time. Yeah. Oh no, blimey, that was easy. That was easy, yeah. Oh, okay, fair one. And then I had my appointment. And she said, right, what's the issue? Or I can't remember how she worded it. I imagine it was more academically framed than that.
Longer
But yeah,
words.
come on, tell me your story. Yeah. She probably did it better than
Just
you
spit
two
it
at the start. Yeah. So I told her, and yeah, I suppose from what I understand, some people who suffer from depression can't pinpoint it to a particular stage in life, whether that be or they just suffer with depression. Whether that be a build-up of stuff or whereas I had such a clear understanding of why I felt how I felt, where it started, so it was quite simplistic for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's why counselling wasn't particularly, or I didn't find it particularly useful. So the first one, how do you feel? I feel awful, and this is why I feel like this, because this happened, and then spouted off this big long story. And then she was like, right, okay, so, that's the end of the session. I didn't find it over emotional or anything like that. It was just quite matter of fact. And she listened and she says, oh, it's perfectly understandable why you feel the way you feel. And I was like, oh, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm glad we agree.
Validated.
Yeah, validated, yeah. And then when it comes to the next one, she says, so how do you feel? And I said, well, I feel the same as I felt. I think it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I feel the same as I felt 2 weeks ago. Oh, right. Why is that then? Well, because this happened to me. The thing's changed.
Yeah.
And she was like, right, okay. So she says, right, what I want you to do in preparation for our next appointment in 2 weeks is I want you to write down 5 things that you're looking for. Oh, I'm just like, get out. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the journey for me.
Yeah.
So she called back 2 weeks later and I said, look, it's been really nice to talk to you. It's been useful, but I don't feel like I'm getting anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it kind of,
It's a not me, it's me conversation.
Yeah.
I think that's quite similar to the other lads that have spoken about it. I mean, it works. And like we said, you've got to try different things because you don't know if it's going to work. But a lot of people come with the same thing. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. And it's hard, isn't it? I mean, like you say, it's difficult enough sitting next to your best mate and trying to talk to them. Yeah. Sometimes it works where it's a stranger, you can tell them whatever you want. But other times you're kind of like, I don't know where. And then you're worried about, well, if they don't think it's that, then they start picking away at something else.
Yeah.
How do you think? Yeah. This is just going to cause a whole load more pain that I don't really want to go, or I'm not ready to deal with right now.
I think everyone's experiences are slightly different as well. I mean, you've kind of hit the nail on the head though, in terms of how yours started off. I mean, mine was exactly the same. I went through therapy a few years ago, and at the start, I was like, I'm just saying my feelings. Same question again was next week, and I was like, what is the purpose of me repeating myself? But there is a purpose. You just got to give it time.
Right.
I think for me, I was impatient.
Yeah.
Most of us are. I think that's just everybody. We want a solution there and then. Yeah. You know, hit the reset button. I want to start again. I want to feel good. Yeah. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But you find that the more you talk to this person who's neutral in this situation, doesn't know you from Adam, right, is now beginning to learn about you and how your behavior is and how you accept things and how you work on things. It's like week 3, week 4 is when you start seeing progress. Yeah. Or day 3, day 4, however many times you go. I started to see things probably around week 5. And I realized I was being way too hard on myself. And those kind of things you learn as you're going through this process. And you find that the counselor or the therapist doesn't really say shit.
No, you're just talking.
They'll ask you the odd question here and there, and then it's you. And then it's you who's reassuring yourself that things can get better. It's you who's putting things into plan. Yeah. They're just giving you the little props in between. Yeah. And it works. But it does require a lot of patience. Yeah. And you kind of need someone behind you to say, how was your session?
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
What did you take from it?
Is it worth it? Yeah. All these little things. I mean, I urge anyone to go and do it. It's not for everyone at the start. CBT is a very difficult thing as well, especially when they start telling you to write things down. Yeah, fuck this shit. I don't want to write anything down. Yeah. I just want you to tell me what's wrong. And solve it. Yeah. But all processes are different, and it works differently on different kind of people. Life coaching is another one. You have life coaches to help build you into something better. It's usually a life coach is just saying, you're already this, you're already all these things. You just need to recognize it. Same with therapists. Yeah. And acceptance is a big thing, and you've accepted quite a lot. And with that, the process of healing begins.
Yeah.
But you don't need a therapist to tell you that. It's yourself that needs to tell you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but it does work.
Yeah.
It does work. It's just different for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's a way of talking.
Yeah. I didn't find it an unpleasant experience. I would encourage and have encouraged other people.
Yeah.
The biggest thing was for me, although it was from my employer, but anyone I talked to within my employment, I direct them to it, because I was pleasantly surprised with that initial contact was really good, and then how quickly you could access it.
Yeah.
Which I think that is an immediate kind of obstacle to a lot of people, because they think, well, I'm going to ring up and then I'm going to have to wait 3. I don't even know if it's 3 months, but from what I understand, it's months.
We've said it before. First, you've got to get past the receptionist when you're in GP. You've got to tell her everything.
Yeah.
So you lose all your bottle that you've earned. You've worked yourself up. You just use it all on the receptionist. When it comes to actually seeing the doctor, you think, fuck me, I've got to do this again.
Yeah.
And I think the average time is 18 months now for referral from GP to some kind of counselling.
Yeah.
In the NHS world.
There are ways around it, which is like the likes of IAP. You can call IAP directly. But again, there's still a wait time to see a therapist or speak to someone. Usually it's referred back to your GP. But I always recommend going private. If you can afford to, go private.
Yeah, because it's not extortionate, is it?
It depends.
I've looked. It doesn't have to be extortionate.
And it comes down to that. What do you put more value on? You know, if you're in a position where you need that help, then you find a way of doing it, because ultimately, what's the other option?
Yeah.
But you'll also find that if you're valued at work as well, your employers will probably just say, right, we'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Go and see someone. If it's impacting you at work as well, they might just, no harm in asking.
Yeah. I mean, we're quite lucky because the system we've got now is much better than it used to be. And like you say, the referrals are a lot quicker now, and there's stuff, the recognition is finally starting to get there that we need to do something about this. But again, not all employers are the same, are they? Not everyone's in the same position. But no, just use it wherever you can get, use, and try everything until you find something that works.
There's a lot of help out there. And you just said something which is really important about you build yourself up to make that call.
And then you got to get past Margaret on the reception.
Fucking gatekeeper.
You're not a doctor. I want to see the doctor. What for?
I remember at one stage I wanted some help from the doctor. So I was going on a course. I say a course. It was part of a job application for a specialist role. And it was going to be 4 days. And I was having horrendous trouble sleeping. Awful. Just cycle of the same dream and horribleness. So I remember thinking, I just want to be able to sleep for this week so I can give this the best crack I can do. And this whole fiasco. So my old doctor, so I used to live in Coventry, but then I moved to Hinckley. And then, but for a long time, I just kept with my childhood doctor, still at my childhood address that I hadn't lived at for 30 years.
Give you a lollipop at the
probably
end
more
as well.
than that.
You're not expecting a home visit from a doctor, you're all right.
5 years, yeah. And you rang up there and you got an appointment. It was brilliant. They were so good. But at some point, I'd obviously changed to the new local one, and it's this famous system where you have to ring at like 6:30 in the morning,
beat the queue,
all the rest of it, and it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating, and I kept going, and you go, so you're on hold for 20 minutes, then you're front of the queue, and then sorry, there's no appointments left. Is it an emergency? Well, no, it's not an emergency. So you hang up.
Yeah.
Next day, do it again. I think I did 3 days in a row.
Your call number 660.
At which point, I thought, do you know what? Obviously, it's not an emergency, because if it was, I'd go to A&E. But is it an emergency compared to anyone else that's ringing their GP? And I thought, do you know what? Yeah. So I said yeah. And I spoke to the receptionist, and they said, I think they said, what's going on? And I said, I'm going through a really awful time at the minute. I'm really struggling to sleep. I just want to be able to sleep just for this week. And I know they don't like giving sleeping tablets out, do they? It's well known. And so she said, I'll list you for a callback. You'll get a triage callback. So I spoke to this doctor, and he said, how can I help? And I said, this has happened. I'm really, really struggling. But one of my main issues is I cannot sleep. I've got this really important course. Can I just have 4 nights? He was like, yeah, sure you can. And that was it.
Wow.
Over the phone.
Thanks so much.
And I
That's
was
cool.
like,
Get my
and
prescription.
I remember going to my mum, because I was staying at my mum's while this course was going on. She says, I can't believe they've prescribed you without going in, without even seeing them. I mean, it was literally 4 tablets.
And especially telling them the stuff that you've gone through and why you're feeling that way, I will just prescribe you some sleeping tablets. Red flags would be waving everywhere.
I'm guessing 4 wouldn't have been enough to have done anything. And the fact that I kind of quantified it, this is what I've got. I just want to be able to sleep for 4 nights. That's it. If I don't sleep after that, I'll just live with it, which is what I'd been doing for the previous kind of 6-12 months anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the only kind of experience I had at the doctor. But yeah, the ringing up in the morning.
Yeah. I went through a stage where I couldn't sleep for ages, and it took fucking months. I got 4 as well. They only give you 4 or 5 because you get addicted to them quite easily.
Right.
I won't say the name of it because I don't want to give people tips, right? But it is literally, it takes a long time to get it. So, damn, man, that's
you need to move doctors.
Yeah, I do.
You need to move doctors.
Give me your doctor's details after this.
I remember somebody else giving me, and I won't do it because, again, it's naughty, but they said, why don't you go to the chemist and ask for bleep? And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So went, selected this item from the counter, went up to the lady. She said, is it for you? No, is this for somebody else? I says, no, it's for me. And she says, oh, what's wrong then? And I went, oh, I just can't sleep. I've been told that this is good. And she says, yeah, we can't give it you for that. And I remember thinking, right, okay. Quick drive to the next game.
Yeah. What I meant was,
perfect.
Ways and Means Act. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's horrendous. The whole getting anywhere, and like you say, you build yourself up to do it, and you have that conversation with the receptionist, and they kind of like, I don't want to talk about it again now. Yeah. Especially in 2 weeks' time when they offer me an appointment. But yeah, no.
It really does help when the gatekeeper's pleasant, though. If they're really, really nice, and then she says, okay, we're going to see what we can do for you. Yeah. It gives you that little bit of hope.
And I know they've got an awful reputation, but I can't remember them being particularly...
Where we are now, our doctors are really good. I mean, a lot of it is online, so you can do the online referral thing. Yeah. But when you do get through, they're really good, I've got to be honest. I can't say anything bad about my current one.
My one's okay, my parents' one isn't. Yeah. And it's that whole
caller
number 32.
Yeah, you'll
press this button if you want to call back. You get a call back, and then you get told there's no appointments.
What time do these people get up at?
It's because they can't sleep.
Yeah.
They've been up all night.
They've been told no by the chemist.
And then you just say, well, what is even wrong with you? Like, I mean, we can talk about
that. But you do get that point, you kind of think, do you know what? No, and like you said, no, it's not an emergency. No, it's not an emergency. But you get to a point where, well, I mean, if I don't do something about it, it is going to become an emergency.
I think what's frustrating is I can't remember the last time I went to the doctor.
Yeah.
So then, when you want to go,
I've built them some credit.
Exactly. I don't waste your time. Yeah. I'm not here all the time with this, that, and the other. But when I ring, I want to see someone. Yeah. And that, I think that's the frustration.
Yeah.
But then that's the same with A&E or any public sector.
Yeah.
Anything.
Everybody's just stretched to the max and they are doing what they can do, aren't they? But it doesn't help you when you're in that moment of, I need some help.
Absolutely.
How do you now? How do you control your emotions? How are you feeling generally? A few questions there.
Yeah, so I think I've done a full circle now. So yeah, that's what I was kind of waiting. It made sense to leave it to the end.
Yeah.
And again, with another cliche.
It's cliche
king. I am cliche king, yeah. But these are all things that people said to me. My granddad, bless his heart, he had a saying that was, "This too shall pass."
Yeah.
And basically, you won't feel like this forever. Yeah. Things will get better. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Whatever way you want to phrase it. I think ultimately, that is what happened. The pain just got less. The frustration, the anger, the rage, the resentment, all these negative things just started to dull down and become less prominent.
Yeah.
The fear of contact with the kids being a car crash got less and less and less.
Yeah.
It was a little blip, but that got ironed out pretty quickly. So that wasn't an issue either. There was some financial worries at some point, and then again, that was just worry and anxiety about it, and then that kind of eased out. So it just felt a little bit better slowly. It wasn't every day. I think you get worse. You get to a point where you're at your worst, and I've described what that was. I think I quite slowly went up to that, reached a peak, and then probably came down quite quickly from there, and then it plateaued a little bit and then slowed down. It was this day by day by day. Was lucky. I've got a job that I absolutely adore. I've got my children that keep me busy and that I love, obviously. So there was always that. So yeah, life just got a little bit better. Life became the new life. I think that was what a lot of mine was. It wasn't just that I lost my wife. I'd lost everything that went with it, like my existence, my day-to-day schedule, my identity. Identity is really, that's a really good point. That is, I was really, when I was younger, I wasn't an angel in some relationships. I'd never been married before. Once I got married, I was determined that I was going to do right by this marriage and this person. And when you've been married for a certain amount of time, you start being quite proud of it, and you start wearing it as a kind of badge of honour.
Yeah, you should be.
And it's almost like, have you been married? Oh, I've been married. It's like the two sheds thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was very proud of our marriage and of being married. And all of a sudden, I think I felt like I'd failed at life. I didn't really know what life was supposed to be anymore. And then you get used to that, and then your new life becomes your new life. And then that started to be brighter and brighter and brighter. And then, like I said, it'll be coming up to nearly 4 years now, and yeah, I'm in a much better place.
You're sleeping better?
Sleep's not an issue, hasn't been an issue for a long time. And
those were 4 good tablets.
Yeah, got you set you for life.
Yeah, one a year. And I've met somebody new, and that's going really well at the minute, and that's given me a new
outlook.
I described it as her as feeling like I'd been woken up.
Yeah,
which I think is a really good.
Yeah,
I think you struggle with life, then you come to terms with that, and then I think you get to a point where you just plod.
Yeah,
you're getting up, you're waiting to go to bed. Not necessarily depressed,
but that's just the routine.
But that's just this is life now.
Yeah.
You get up, you go to work, you come back to the house, and you know,
and that's it.
And then
close
you
the
wait,
door,
get
go to
up,
bed.
and then you wait for your rest days, because then you've got your kids, and that's how your life's punctuated. There's nothing else in it, and it's almost like sleepwalking, I suppose.
I like that, the plod.
Yeah,
it is the plod,
and that's probably a coping mechanism to some extent. You can't carry on feeling horrendous. You've got to do something. So then that plodding becomes obviously
it's your management.
That is the new. It's early days, but I feel like I've been woken up, and it's good.
The next chapter.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah, and I think that's what I would. Like I said, I laugh at all these cliches. But I'm not going to say another one, but they're there for a reason, aren't they? And they're there because lots of people before us have been through what we are going through.
Yeah,
and then they say these things because that's their lesson in life, if you like, and they're passing it forward. So 4 years ago, when people say, "Oh, don't worry, things will get better. You won't feel like
when
this all the time.
Deepest, darkest,
you'll meet somebody else, and you just eye roll and you think, piss off, leave me in my hole. Just put the bit of wood over the top so the light can't come in. And then eventually, So I'd just say, don't give up on hope.
Yeah.
Always hold on to that hope, and I think hope hope doesn't necessarily mean something will happen. But
it's the thought of
it's the hope and the possibility. And just, have the hope. Hope in hope.
Taylor said it when he came in, didn't he? You have to hit rock bottom to find your way back.
Yeah.
And it is, right? And, like you say, it's always darkest before the dawn. There are all sorts of stuff like that. But it's true. When you've got to that lowest point, you think, fuck. And it's one way or the other at that point. But you know that there are two ways.
Yeah.
And as long as you can concentrate and, like you say, keep that thought of the hope, then that gives you road out.
Yeah. That point reminds me of Yaz. Remember the singer Yaz?
The only way is up.
The only way is up.
Yeah.
Because when you're down there, the only way is up. And I focused on it in hospital.
Yeah.
I used to sing that to myself all the time. I look like a twat, but I still did it. And I tell you what, it makes if you focus on things like that, the words like that, the only way is up. The only way is up.
Yeah.
Blank canvas.
Yeah.
And my delightful ex, which I've done really well not to say anything.
You've been
I've
restrained,
been really good, haven't I?
Really restrained.
See, which is probably a good sign. If anyone that's listening that knows me, they're probably
when you get to this point,
God,
yeah,
he hasn't said a derogatory word about once yet. So she'd got a counselling background. And I'll never forget, she spoke about, she'd obviously done some studies or research into like suicide and things like that and self-harming. But she'd said that, one of the things I'll always remember that she said, people who, are we all right talking about this?
Yeah.
I don't want to trigger anyone.
No. It's what we're here for.
Exactly.
She said people who try to commit suicide, they only want to commit suicide for that moment in time. And she said that they'd done a lot of research about people who had survived their own attempts. And they almost all said, as soon as I'd committed to the act, I instantly regretted it.
Yeah. Because it is final, isn't it? If it goes to plan, it's final.
Yeah.
And like you say, then you get to that oh shit moment.
Yeah. So and I think that's so that can work in the short term. So immediately, I don't want to do this. This isn't where I am.
Yeah.
But also like that long term, like if I go back like 3 years, whenever it was when I was bad, if I'd followed through with that, everything that I would have missed out on after that, and being where I am now and looking back, I mean, 3 years isn't a massive amount of time considering what it was. Like you'd go back and you'd give yourself a wobble.
Yeah,
and you'd say,
give your head a wobble and just say
being stupid and stick your head in a bucket of ice cold water and just come on.
Yeah.
Not the man up and get on with it.
Don't say
almost, when your computer's fucked up, the first thing you do is turn it off. Turn it on again.
It's a reset.
And then it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
What looked like, was
this too shall pass.
Fatal thing with this computer. I literally just needed to turn it off and on again.
Yeah.
And I would go back then and flick a switch.
Yeah.
Give me 20 seconds and then turn me back on again.
And like you say, it's that you get the people all the time that say, it will be okay. This, you're going to struggle with it, but you'll be right. At that time, you're like, oh, fuck off, really, that's not what I wanted. But actually, it is, because then you come out the other side and go, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I can get over this stuff. And But that's why we talk about journal all the time, because you can write that down, and then at some point, if you're feeling low in the future, you can come back and go, I've been here.
Yeah.
I know this is shit. However, I know that I did his life afterwards. But yeah. No, I enjoyed that. That was
me too.
That was good. Thank you, mate.
Well, I just feel depressed now. I felt all right coming in. I just feel like,
and we've reversed everything.
I feel horrendous. Yeah.
This is what you get for not going to the counselling.
You get us instead.
Back to square one again. It's just such a miserable.
But it's. I know it's difficult. I know it is. It was a horrible time. But like you said, there are people listening to this, hopefully, or reading it in the WhatsApp group and the stuff that we do, that it will strike a chord with them. They'll be like, you know what? I get where you are.
Yeah.
And it's whether they've been through it already or whether they're going through it, there are other people that will jump on that and go,
And I bet if you set a challenge for someone to come up with a scenario that somebody else hasn't already gone through.
No chance.
No chance.
No chance. And even, you could make it as extreme as you wanted. And we've said all the time that it might be different. However, the path along it is almost identical because you get to the same spot.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is, somebody will go, well, something similar to that. This is what happened.
Yeah.
And it's so hard.
But I imagine in most circumstances that it's very, very similar.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we haven't been around thousands and thousands of years without somebody going through something similar. So yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
But the purpose is now you've given people hope. You can go through shit and you can come out the other side.
And I'm not just saying that as a tagline or bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
Like online at the tea towels with
But I can print them for you. It's fine.
But yeah, genuinely, it got to a point where very, very slowly and very gradually, probably without me even noticing, it got better and better and better, just by a little bit. It's still kind of, like I said, this sleepwalking, not necessarily a bad thing. I think you get to that point first, and then you get something that
it's almost like a protection thing you go into, isn't it? It's just sort of right. This is going on, and I just need to do this, and I'll get through it.
But that's better than the black hole.
Yeah.
No, but thank you, mate. That's been quite insightful, actually. Been really insightful.
Yeah, it's been really good. I'm just glad he came in.
Cool.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it back.
You say that.
No, because I hate the sound of my voice.
Wait till Thursday when this comes out, you've listened to it. It'll be on the car on the way to work. You're like, oh, that's me.
I hate Tag him in everything.
I hate the sound of my voice.
Yeah, it's not... When I sit in the house and edit the videos and stuff, I'm sat there like, oh. And Jen like, oh, you're listening to yourself again? I'm like, I hate it.
I've been trying really hard not to cough as well, because I'm like thinking,
Germs of that side of the podcast.
Yes, edit out stay there. Stay on that side.
Love Spuds.
I love Spuds. Actually, we should get down to the first one, I think.
So we're at the Love Spud section.
No, go on.
So every week we get people in, or when we're asked, Love Spuds, what's pissed you off? What's gripped your shit this week?
Oh,
there you go. Look at his eyes. His eyes are just widened.
See, I didn't pre-warn him of this, so this is fresh.
This is natural.
Yeah.
Do you want a countdown?
Do we have any teachers in the membership?
Oh, I know what your thoughts and feelings are around teachers. No, I think you're right.
So I posted on the Hinckley and Bosworth Spotted Facebook page last week. Is it just the education system and teaching profession that shuts down completely at the first sight of snow? Are they the only public sector? Sorry, are they the only frontline public sector that shuts down at the first sign of a snowflake? It absolutely
kicked off,
grips me. And then it's classic as well, because I knew what I was doing, but I just find it interesting. And you get one or two people that agree with you. You get the vast majority of people that won't hear a bad word said about the teachers, but then you obviously get all the teachers. I think they kind of missed the point that I was saying, which was, and I followed it up by saying, if you took the principles that you're talking about and applied it to any other public sector, the same applies, but they don't shut down. And what do you think would happen if it did? So yeah, it gets me.
This reminds me, a few years ago, I remember him making a comment about teachers' training days and the shit that.
Oh, I have it massive, yeah. So they have 6 weeks summer holiday, and then the first 2 days off for teacher training days. Then I had it massive about COVID.
Yeah.
My kids' school closed a day early before Christmas, so the school didn't have to provide teaching staff for the track and trace on Christmas Eve.
Right. Okay.
So I had that massive, and actually had my children's primary school head teacher in tears.
This guy's a troublemaker.
She didn't like the fact that I challenged it, but yeah, I do think it's funny about.
Yes. No, I'm with you.
And teachers have it massive. They do. It is good for.
Yeah,
it is good for.
Now, tagging on yours, my Love Spuds this week.
Go for it.
So went to the social night in Rugby last Thursday, snow day. So my car's off the road, it's broken. So Simon, who's partially sighted, said to me, "Can I get a lift to the social site?" I said, "We'll share a taxi, mate." I said, "Because the car's off the road." So as I'm walking to his house, snowflakes coming down like golf balls. I'm like, "Oh, this is good snow." Yeah. Taxi from our house to the pub cost us 12 quid. We're in the pub, it's chucking it down with snow. 9 o'clock, the lads are like, "I think we'll start making a move in case we can't get home." Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no problem. So start ringing around for a taxi. Every taxi firm in Rugby had sent their drivers home because it was snowing. Right? There were 3 cars left on the road, all of whom were Ubers, and the same £12 journey to the pub cost me £28 back home in the snow.
Naughty.
And the best bit was, the Uber driver turned up in a rear-wheel drive Mercedes. I love like how you taking the piss.
That is a piss take.
So yeah, if it'd been me, it's a 2.5 mile trip. I would have walked it because Simon's with me and he was partially sighted. Can't do that, so we had to suck up and pay 28 quid for an Uber.
See, taxis always wind me up. I've got a strange relationship with taxi drivers. So when I go out in Birmingham, I get the train back to Coventry and then get a taxi from Coventry to Hinckley.
Yeah.
But what I've decided to do is, if I start walking in the direction I know the taxi's going to go, I can save myself a few quid. So the last time I did it, I walked.
How far did you get?
So the furthest I've gone was not Windmill Road, Wigston Road.
Yeah.
Not Wigston, the one before that, Woodway Lane. Woodway Lane Junction.
Right,
I walked all the way to there,
yep.
which was a good effort. The last time I did it, I worked to the KFC on Walsgrave Road.
Yeah.
But it literally shaves like 5. I mean, I'm a tight bastard.
You are tight.
So, yeah. But yeah.
He's got no leather left on the bottom of the
So
shoe.
I walk. Now, bear in mind, I walk through via Gosford Street, which, if you're in the know,
taking your life in your hands.
yeah. But I might lose more than 6 quid by walking through there at night. But hey, ho.
Vish, love spuds.
I'm actually going to change it up a little bit. It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. It's a love spud turned to a plum.
Okay.
Now, the last week for me, without going into detail, last couple of weeks has been absolute fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's been hell. This shit's gone on out of my control entirely. But despite what has happened, which has been fucking atrocious, it's really showed me who is there for me.
Yeah. And
I didn't even have to reach out. People just know. You probably experience this as well. When you're going through shit, people just know. Because I'm a very out there kind of person. I'm quite social. I'm always doing something or always talking to someone. I never shut up. You can tell.
No way.
But yeah, I really want to put it out there that, you know how people think that you don't have support around you and you start feeling sorry for yourself. You do.
Yeah.
And it's also good to talk about it. And I've felt over the last couple of weeks with that support system that I've got, which is my family for one, fucking phenomenal. Friends, people I've just randomly met through something that's happened. You don't realize the pressure that comes off just by being able to talk. You've been flipping great. You've been checking in on me pretty much every day. Mate. And I just want to put it out there.
It's what we do.
Exactly. I just want to put it out there that, you know, no matter what kind of shit you're going through, you can get through it.
Yeah.
Regardless, and use the people around you. So for me, this is a love plum.
Yeah.
Even though it was a spud at the start. And it's going to be a spud for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the positives. And that's the thing that gets me through shit. I always focus on the positives. And it's really rare for anyone to see me quite low or down.
Yeah.
Because I will fight through it. But I have to start with believing in myself first. That's usually
that's the hardest bit, isn't it?
That is. Yeah. That's the fuse, though. I mean, I always like, if the fuse isn't lit and you're not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's got to be me. I have to propel myself to feel that way. And it's hard sometimes. Getting up in the morning can be really, really hard, and thinking, oh shit, I've got these emotions are coming back, these feelings are coming back. I feel like shit. But then you have to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What have I got? What's around me? The people around me, where I am in life, all those sort of things. And you realize that you are actually a lot better off than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really, really are. So I'm just saying, appreciate everything you have around you and use the people you have around you. So love plum.
Nice.
Tick.
Like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, mate.
Right.
Cheers, Dale. Thank you, mate, for coming in.
Man.
Enjoyed that today. A couple of bits of podmin, whatever we're going to call it now.
I don't know.
Big one. So this is coming out on Thursday. The new app launches tomorrow.
Yes.
I've worked on it for the last 2 weeks. I'll be glad to see it launch tomorrow. All in one journal, community chat, reach out, toolkit. Everything else is on there. Rather than you going to the website, going to the Facebook, going to WhatsApp, it'll all be in one place. It's a web app, so you can browse it on your phone. You can save it to the home screen of your phone. At some point, I'm hoping we can wrap it and make it a Google Play, Apple Store.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes first. But we've had 35 testers on it, I think, the last week. And I think we've ironed out the last of the glitches. I hope we've ironed out the last of the glitches. So yeah, tomorrow there'll be a Facebook post. The link will be on there. Download it, give it a go. give it a try.
What's the website?
Oh, mate, now that's a long. I don't know. Just go on our backandforth.mmh.co.uk and it'll be on there. Apart from that, social night tomorrow night at Broad Street Rugby Club and the walk 10 o'clock Saturday morning at the Memorial Park.
Cheers. I'm proud of you, mate. It was only a couple of weeks ago you were telling me about the app. You were like, I got this idea.
Yeah, it's one of those I wanted to get it done.
So, you fucking did,
done.
mate.
Yeah,
well done.
It's done.
Well done.
We had a good family walk last week. Thank you for everybody who came. We had 20 people on the walk last Saturday, which was amazing. Very cold, very icy, but a good walk. So a good way to start 2026. Let's keep it going and on to the next.
Absolutely.
So we have
Would you join me in wishing Coventry good luck on Saturday against?
Oh yes, so I forgot to mention, mate. Dale has become Coventry City's #1 fan.
Getting the Emirates on Saturday.
Your lips have been quivering for a couple of minutes because you've been wanting to see. You're like,
yes, there's got to be one or two Cov fans
Super
out there.
Frank's
Sure.
Army on the march.
Absolutely.
Yeah, coming soon to a Premier League near you.
Yeah.
No, up the Sky Blues. They're doing really well. I think that's been part of his coping mechanism because every time I see his picture, he's at Cov game.
To be fair, have we got time? Just very, very quickly. One of the few really good things to come out of my whole journey was the relationship with my lad.
Yeah.
It went up probably 1,000% after what happened. And this football thing, you're right, the football has been, if I went back and looked at me now, I wouldn't recognise myself as like a football fan. I'd have been like, get out. But that just started randomly. He said he wanted to go and watch a game and he'd already been Leicester, so he went to Coventry and that was it. We were hooked and it's been really, really good for us. So, a real positive, like all the other noise and progression and, where I am now. Even before all that relationship with my boy, rocketed up almost straight away. It was really, really strange. And
that's good.
In a good way. Yeah, just for the record.
This is the guy that years ago, if we started talking about football in the office, he'd glaze over and walk off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
good on you, mate.
Yeah, it's been good.
I'm glad.
So, we have a sign-off every week. I'm not going to put you on the spot to say it, because I don't know if you listen to it. But on that note, Vish, I will see you
next
Thursday.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Cheers, Dale. Hey.